In the crisp chill of an autumn morning, when fog lingers in orchard valleys and the earth smells of damp leaves, there's a ritual as old as human settlement itself. A hand reaches into the gnarled branches of an apple tree, fingers brushing against dew-slick skin, and plucks a fruit whose story is etched into myth and medicine alike. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, the old saying goes, a rhyme so familiar it's often dismissed as folklore. But hidden within that simplicity lies a profound truth, one that modern science has only recently begun to decode. This is the tale of how an unassuming fruit, woven into everything from Idnik legends to school lunchboxes, became nature's most accessible prescription for heart health, not through magic, but through the humble, heroic work of fiber. Imagine an apple's journey from blossom to bite. In spring, the tree erupts in pale pink flowers, each pollinated by bees drunk on nectar. As summer waxes, the fruit swells, its cells layering cellulose and pectin, a gel-like fiber, into walls that will give the apple its crunch. By harvest time, a single medium apple contains 4.5 grams of fiber, nearly 20% of our daily need. But this isn't just roughage, it's a meticulously engineered system. Soluble fiber forms a viscous gel in the gut, while insoluble fiber scrubs the digestive tract like a gentle broom. Together, they perform a dance that would make even the most sophisticated pharmaceuticals envious. For the heart, this dance is life-saving. The drama unfolds in the gut, where pectin, the soluble fiber abundant in apples, encounters bile acids, the liver's emulsifiers for digesting fats. Normally, these acids are reabsorbed, carrying cholesterol back into circulation. But pectin, sticky and tenacious, binds to them like molecular Velcro, escorting them out of the body as waste. Depleted of bile acids, the liver must now pull cholesterol from the bloodstream to make more, effectively lowering LDL levels. It's a cholesterol heist orchestrated by fiber, with the apple as its mastermind. Studies show that eating 2 apples daily can reduce LDL by up to 10% in just 8 weeks, a feat rivaling some statins. But unlike drugs, apples work without side effects, their side dishes being better digestion and a satisfied sweet tooth. Yet the apple's genius doesn't stop at cholesterol. Picture the gut microbiome as a bustling metropolis, trillions of bacteria shaping everything from immunity to mood. When apple fiber arrives, particularly the skin's insoluble cellulose, it becomes premium real estate for beneficial microbes like bifidobacteria. These bacteria ferment fiber into short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, molecules that slip into the bloodstream and perform miracles. One such SCFA, butyrate, not only reduces inflammation in arterial walls but also tamps down the liver's production of triglycerides, fats that thicken blood and strain the heart. In a groundbreaking Dutch study, participants who ate apples daily saw a 32% drop in C-reactive protein, a marker of systemic inflammation, within a month. The humble apple, it seems, is a diplomat, negotiating peace between gut and heart. History whispers proof. In the Caucasus Mountains, where centenarians are as common as apple trees, elders begin each morning with a ritual, a whole apple, skin intact, eaten slowly with walnuts. Scientists studying these populations found their arteries retained the elasticity of middle age well into their 90s. The apple is the first medicine, says 101-year-old Givy, tending trees his great-grandfather planted. When your belly is happy, your heart sings. Modern epidemiology agrees. A meta-analysis of over 180,000 people found those consuming at least 1 apple daily had a 28% lower risk of developing hypertension, the silent architect of heart attacks and strokes. But how does a fruit so sweet, so ordinary, achieve such feats? The answer lies in synergy. And apple's fiber doesn't work alone. Quercetin, a flavonoid concentrated in the skin, relaxes blood vessels by boosting nitric oxide production. Potassium, tucked between fibrous cells, counterbalances sodium's grip on blood pressure. Even the act of chewing an apple matters. The slow breakdown of fiber releases polyphenol gradually, allowing sustained antioxidant protection. Compare this to apple juice, stripped of fiber. Its sugars spike insulin, while its scant nutrients offer little defense. The whole fruit, in contrast, is a time-release capsule of heart medicine, perfected by evolution. Consider the tale of two sisters. Anna, a nurse in Boston, swapped her afternoon granola bar for an apple, seeking to lose weight. Within months, her annual physical revealed a surprise. Her LDL had dropped 25 points, and her blood pressure now hovered at 110/70. Her sister Maria, skeptical, stuck to her low-fat yogurt, yet her cholesterol inched upward. Unknowingly, Anna had tapped into fiber's dual role, appetite regulator and cardiac ally. Apple fiber expands in the stomach, triggering satiety hormones that curb cravings for salty, fatty snacks, the true saboteurs of heart health. Meanwhile, its gel-like pectin slows sugar absorption, preventing the glucose surges that inflame arteries. Anna's heart wasn't just benefiting from the apple, it was being shielded from 1,000 dietary microaggressions. The apple's impact crescendos when viewed through the lens of modern epidemics. Processed foods, stripped of fiber, have left guts barren and hearts vulnerable. In the 1990s, researchers noted a paradox. Though Americans consumed less saturated fat than ever, heart disease rates climbed. The culprit? A fiber deficit. Enter the apple, a convenient, crunchy antidote. Trials show that adding just 10 grams of daily fiber, about 2 apples, slashes heart disease risk by 14%. For those with metabolic syndrome, apple's prebiotic fiber reshapes gut flora, reducing endotoxins that trigger arterial plaque. It's as if each apple carries a tiny broom, sweeping not just the intestines but the entire cardiovascular system. Yet the apple's most profound lesson may be one of timing. Ancient Ayurvedic texts prescribed apples on an empty stomach to kindle digestive fire. Modern science offers a cardiac translation. Eating apples before meals coats the gut with fiber, reducing cholesterol absorption from subsequent foods. In a clever experiment, participants who ate an apple 15 minutes before a cheeseburger meal saw their post-meal triglyceride spike blunted by 30%. The apple acted as a shield, its fiber intercepting fats before they could storm the bloodstream. The apple's story takes root even in the concrete heart of cities. In Detroit's urban farms, volunteers plant disease-resistant apple varieties among vacant lots, teaching kids to peel and core their harvest. At a community health clinic nearby, Dr. Lila Carter tracks a curious trend. Families eating homegrown apples show faster improvements in blood pressure than those relying on medications alone. It's not just the fiber, she muses. It's the ritual, taking time to eat something alive, something that grew. Environmental echoes abound. Apple trees, with their deep roots, stabilize soil and store carbon. Orchards provide habitats for pollinators whose decline threatens global food security. Even apple pomace, the pulp left after juicing, is being repurposed into biodegradable packaging, closing the waste loop. In a warming world, hardy heirloom varieties like Arkansas Black or Ashmead's Kernel offer drought-resistant sources of heart-healthy fiber. In labs, the apple continues to astonish. Geneticists have identified a compound in crab apples, maleucin, that enhances fiber's biobinding capacity. Nutrigenomic studies suggest apple polyphenol talk to genes involved in lipid metabolism, downregulating cholesterol production. Meanwhile, gerontologists study apple-loving populations, seeking links between fiber, longevity, and health span, the years lived free of heart disease. To bite into an apple is to engage in an act of communion with our ancestors. When Hippocrates prescribed apples for palpitations in 400 BCE, or when medieval monks fermented them into vinegars to thin the blood, they were intuiting what labs now prove. The apple isn't a cure-all, but a daily ally, a fibrous scaffold supporting the heart's relentless work. In an era of ultra-processed foods, it reminds us that the simplest solutions are often the most profound, not a single miracle compound, but the harmonious interplay of fiber, phytonutrients, and the rhythms of nature. As twilight gilds an orchard, the apples hang like dormant sentinels, their potential locked in cellulose and pectin. To eat one is to tap into a lineage of wellness older than agriculture itself, a lineage where food isn't just fuel, but a daily act of care for the heart that sustains us. The next time you crunch into an apple, listen closely. Beneath the sound of breaking skin, you might hear the whisper of generations. This is how we've always healed. This is how we survive.